trusting the process now is when you're on your way and you're creating it, but you're meeting a lot of distractions in your life. It's like all this stuff is happening. What you have to start to do now, this is where the faith and the expectation comes in. You know, a lot of time, and I'm telling you this, it's all right for you not to know how, when, or to figure. You can't listen. Don't put your mind into that stuff. Don't occupy the mind into that stuff. Try to occupy or attempt to occupy your mind into things that will lead you to what you want, your desire. Because guys, you got to get this, man. If you let your mind start to run it, man, it takes you into a turmoil, man. You don't want to be in turmoil with the mind, because it's programmed to just go crazy on you, man. It could just put you in a loop, man. See that all the time. And the next thing, guys, here's how to trust the universe. Stop looking too far ahead. Enjoy what's happening right now. Don't look and worry about what's coming later or what's happening or what it's going to do. Don't do any of that, because you start to do that, you'll rob yourself of the present moment. You're taking away the joy of what's happening now. Because, you know, this is critical, because the mind will say, well, notice your mind always have a rebuttal for you. Oh, you got lucky. Oh, this happened. You won't have to get it again. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Don't entertain it, man. That's one thing I learned about this stuff, man, is that I'm going to share an important lesson with you that I learned, and maybe this will help you when it comes to trusting the universe, God, whatever. Okay? Here's what I learned. At times, my mind would always give me like a worst case scenario. Like, oh, this is always looking worse. By nature, I'm analytical, right? It took a lot for a person analytical. It takes a lot for you to trust the unit, because your brain is just so analytical. It's like, well, how about that? That makes no sense. So what I noticed is, like, when my mind would project the things that were going to happen or coming up, whenever I got into that state of those things, it's not as bad as I thought it would. It didn't freak me out as my mind made it look. So my point is this: your mind is going to do two things. It's going to show you the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. And I got to tell you something. When they do happen, they will be normal. Look, I remember one specific instance, man. I told you, when I won the lottery, right? And I went to check the ticket. In my mind, when I was visualizing, I was in this, like, super happy, like, it's going to be awesome. Don't get me wrong, I was happy when it happened. But when I did it and I checked the tickets, something dawned on me. I was like, you know what? I felt good. I'm happy. But the way my mind made it look like I was going to be, it's like going to be circling the place, jumping, and balloons are going to fall. People are going to be. Wasn't even like that. It was just like a sense of, like, peace, release, and just, it was a good thing. It was happy. My point is, you cannot trust and listen to the mind when it comes to the negative aspects. It's going to show you, like, oh, your life's going to be this way, it's going to turn out that way. Don't do that, because that's going to tear down your confidence. Okay? So to trust the universe, you have to get your mind focused on only what you want. Then the next process is, now you have to do some mental work or mark. What is the mental work I have to do? Well, you know, guys, to create your life, you're going to have to do work and take action. And some action can be meditation, visualization, putting yourself in new experiences. Those are the action steps you got to do. And then the action also implies the repetition, repeating it over and over again. Those are things you have to do, because you're telling the universe, I trust the process. Okay? That's basically how this stuff works. I mean, look, when it comes to the universe, you and I aren't entitled to know exactly how everything is going to come into our world. It's impossible for us to do that. Number one, our brains aren't equipped to fully understand the complexity of how the nature of the universe works, from the supermolecular to whatever. We just have a basic understanding. And the truth is, Maybe our brains can never be able to grasp that. Maybe our brains are still evolving. Maybe it'll be millions of years before we can even do that. But that's okay for right now. All you have to know is that it works. Right? Well, I'll give an example. Like, look, if you get a cold in your body, right? Do you ever question like how exactly your body works to fix itself? No, you just know that get a cold. It may get better sooner, or it may take a little longer, but eventually I'll get better, right? So you don't know like the detailed process. If you go to the doctors, there's some doctors will tell you, well, we'll just do this. Let's wait till it clears up. They can't tell you. They just say, well, the body got to do its thing. So everything is coded in this thing that we can't truly understand, but the process works, right? Oh, eventually you'll get better, right? It's the same thing with when you're creating what you want. It's okay for you not to try to know the exact way, but you just have to know that what you want is coming towards you and you're going to get it. Faith, patience, repetition are the keys.